So welcome, I'm Michael Brabant, and this is How to Spin Unconscious Shadow into Conscious Life-Giving Gold. Semi-haiku-ish of a title, maybe not totally clear, but as I go into the 10 big ideas, things will emerge and we'll begin to define some of these terms. And as you may notice, it's a little Rumpelstiltskin-esque, so the throwback to the fables, spinning the straw into gold. So number one, the long bag that we drag behind us. This is a term by poet and author Robert Bly of an article that he wrote. And what he says is basically that when we're a child, we have this 360-degree energy field that's fresh, that's alive, that's interactive with the environment. But then as our environment kind of tells us that certain ways in which we act or certain ways in which we talk are not acceptable for our environment, we have a bag that we begin to put that stuff in. So it kind of like starts in childhood. It's like, be a good little boy, or don't be a bad little girl. And that kind of like nicks us, and we're like, oh. And maybe 1 degree of that 360 degrees gets put in the bag and becomes unexpressible and begins to weigh us down. And then we go into school, and it's like, sit down, be quiet, stop talking, don't climb up trees, listen. And all this conditioning in our environment is like, oh, I guess I can't be adventurous. Oh, I guess I can't be sociable in this way. I can't break the rules. And all of these little nicks begin to more and more take away from who we are, essentially, naturally. And we put it behind us in this bag. And then, of course, when we're at any age and certain trauma happens, maybe there's some sort of sexual abuse or physical abuse or an accident or somebody very close to you passes away. All of these things impact us and begins to, again, nick our soul and begin to quiet our energy. So that's why you see a little kid that's just vibrant all the time, like, wow, the world, life, I love it. And then oftentimes you see people getting older and it's just more and more beaten down. And this bag continues to weigh us down. It's like we're a perpetual Santa Claus, just like lugging all this repressed us around. And it's not until we actually go into the bag and begin to see that within each of these shadows is a gift. And I'll talk about that more as we move forward, but until we own all the stuff that's in our bag, we're going to be limited in who we are and not able to live our fullest expression. Okay. The last thing I want to say about this actually is that another image that you can have in mind is the iceberg. And this is a kind of classical image around shadow, where the tip of our personality is what we can see, what we show the world. But the majority of who we are is underneath the surface of our conscious awareness. And so, yeah, we can have a really, sweet tip of the iceberg, really shiny, maybe a few penguins here and there, but we miss all of our goodness that's underneath the surface. And until we begin to dive down into the places we don't normally see, we're not going to be able to harness that energy.